He founded a top insurance and financial service agency, and he's noted for his work as a motivational speaker and youth mentor with groups like the NBA, the Boys and Girls Club, Habitat for Humanity, and the military.
Some people might easily recognize Benjamin Raymond as the son-in-law of talk show host Steve Harvey. But what many people do not know is the tough decision that Ben made as a teenager to put himself in foster care in search of a better life. It's all in this new book. It's called Playing the Game Without a Coach. Thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here today.
How old were you when you entered the foster care system, and what led you to that decision?
Well, growing up was a lot of dark days for me. My mother was diagnosed at a younger age with bipolar schizophrenia, and she battled with a crack addiction. And my father was never in the picture. Saw him once at the age of 7, didn't see him again for 20 years. I found him in federal prison. So for me, growing up, it was tough. My mom actually lost me at 6 months old to the foster care system. And she had to go through the court system for 2 years to get me back. And from there, it was just bouncing house to house. And my mother was dating individuals that were bringing drugs into the house, beating her up. So I'm seeing verbal abuse, physical abuse.
At a very young age.
Yeah.
I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, I felt like a prisoner in my own home. I felt like I was going to be a statistic, and I really didn't have an outlet. So at the 8th grade, I made the decision. I called my coach, and through high school, I lived with 3 different families over a 4-year period. And that also, you know, just gave me the love and stability that I needed to propel me to where I am today.
Here in LA County especially, we hear the positive and we hear the negative stories of foster care. What was your experience like?
You know, I think for me, like a lot of kids, you never really feel that you are family. You know, you feel like you're just there, that somebody is just helping a hand. And for me, as I was bouncing house to house, it really took me till my senior year in high school. You guys have probably seen the movie Blindside. There was a family I call a mom cat that took me in, and you see this big black star athlete and this little short white woman who had the biggest heart in the world. And she put me in their Christmas card and said, son, get in here, and showed me the love and talked to me like a son, gave me rules that I had to abide by. If you don't have a job, you got to move out. If you bring a girl to the house, things that most families do, but for me growing up, I never had that structure. And that's where I started to feel loved and started to feel the nurturing, and really made me the person I am today.
Now we understand the photo. Immediately, Jessica and I both went to the picture. What's this Christmas card? Okay.
There's incredible photos in the book, you know, different moments in your life. And what struck me with what you just said is that in 8th grade, as you're a kid, you put yourself into the foster system because you were so fed up with your at-home life. So then as you move through and you become an adult, you turn 18, how does the rest of your life shape up? Because you know that there are statistics, unfortunately, where many kids will fall back into those patterns of their mother and their father and what they grew up seeing.
You know, I think for so many kids, I think we all know what it is, right and wrong. And for me, I was always the person that was always chasing my destiny. I never really let my history control that. And I was always a person that was a vision board seeker before I even knew what a vision board was. I had big dreams, and those were the things that kept me doing the right things. And I just never had a person growing up that looked like me, that could show me right and wrong, that could tell me and give me influence. And that was really what the inspiration was for me to write the book. I really, you know, Playing the Game Without a Coach is a book that, to me, can save someone's life, because it was the families that took me in that saved my life. And ultimately, I just felt if I was in a position to help someone, I wanted to be, you know, be able to do that. And I think the book really is not just for kids or foster care or tough situations. Everybody goes through life decisions. Everybody has difficult moments.
I can imagine, and your baby is still very young, but you're going to do everything completely different than what you experienced.
You know, I think for a lot of people, you know, when you don't have the structure, when you don't have a coach, you learn what is to actually do right when you see everything wrong. You see drugs, you see abuse, you see violence, you see all these things around you. That wasn't the life I want. That's not the life my son's going to have. And although he has a father like me, I want him to understand there's so many other people out there that are struggling, that don't have a coach. And it doesn't matter where you come from. It's ultimately your drive and what you do that's going to set you apart.
Thank you so much for being here this morning. We want to tell you, if you want to check out the book, if you want more information about Benjamin Raymond, his book is Playing the Game Without a Coach. You can follow him on social media. Check out his website as well.